Okay, welcome everybody to our Rockin' Thursday Ambassador Call. And I am Jana Garcia, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador. And I have as a guest speaker tonight, Diamond Ambassador Kathleen Hepler.
Hi.
Hey, we so appreciate you being on the call tonight. And we are so excited about the topic that we have to talk about.
I am too. I'm loving it. I can't wait.
Yeah. So I did a live video in the Rockin' group earlier this week and talked about what we're going to do. And I kind of want to just give you a little bit of background on why we decided to do this endeavor, which is it's kind of a big endeavor, but I think it will be good for everyone on the team. So Kathleen started a group a few months ago with one of her jewels, and it is a testimony group. And she has found great success along with her upline, her sponsors, and her downline. And she will tell you all about where she learned about it from. But the reason why I feel like it would be so great, and one of the reasons why, is because when we first started out 5 years ago, the main thing that we did was we did customer groups. And every time a new ambassador would join, we would have them do a customer group, their own personal customer group. And we would have them add all of their friends to the group. Like we said, don't leave anybody out, add all of your friends to the group. And we would have them post testimonies every day, including their own. And that is how we got our first ambassadors and customers. Well, fast forward through a few years, and everybody and their brother now does customer groups with every company imaginable. And so because there were so many customer groups, people stopped paying attention to all of the customer groups. So the other thing is that most people who started a customer group didn't get a lot of interaction in their group because everyone had to do their own group. And so nobody had time to go into everybody else's group and help them. And so at first it was super successful, but after a while, and you know, if you've been doing network marketing for a while, you understand that you have to change with the times. That's the only way you're going to be successful, because if you continue doing what you've always done and it's not working anymore, then you have to find something new. So this has kind of been the missing link for us for the past couple of years. And so now that we see that it's being done successfully on other groups, we want to duplicate this. So this past weekend, I talked to some different ambassadors and they told us about it. And then Kathleen told me about her testimony group, and she agreed to come on and tell us all about it. So Kathleen, why don't you kind of give us a background on why you started the group?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, back 4 or 5 years ago when I first started, exactly what Jana says, that we did those customer groups. The reason why they worked so well, way before we became this huge company, we were kind of small and we didn't really know what we were doing. We just told lots of stories. And any story we could find, we threw it out in our little group. And because we know that these products work so well with so many different things, because as we know that these products get to the gut, and there's so many things, as soon as you start messing with your gut and your gut balance, everything goes wacky. So we know that these products can help with so many things. So what we did back then, before there was even such a thing called compliance, we would share all of these stories with that it's helped with, you fill in the blanks stories. And on top of that, once we started, all of our uplines, downlines, sidelines shared their stories as well. So when we put all of our new potential people in there and all of our friends, they would say, holy cow, you know all these people, these 20 people that just threw their stories in there, that's pretty amazing, right? So that's how we grew, and that's how we grew so fast. So we kind of stepped away from that, especially with how some of the stories that have to be told now with compliance and all that kind of thing. Things have changed over time. And as Jana said, everybody does customer groups. So when you do your own and we know, guys, I know we're working how many jobs and family and kids and everything. You don't have all the time in the world to be searching for the great story that's going to help your friend to realize that these products can help, right? That's just the reality. And I get that. Truly, I just ran from my kid's concert. Truly get it. There's not a lot of time in the day, right? So my friend Valerie and I, who is my level 1, we were chatting saying we should do a customer group for everybody and just say, let's start it, right? And so they don't have to do it. So we started posting and all that kind of thing. And Michelle Thomas is another Diamond ambassador. And she came and did a video at some point and said the same type of thing. But what she did was amped it up, made it even better. So we took our little customer group and amped it up major. And I'm going to give all the little details. So just to give an idea of what you guys are in store for. But if you have any questions as we go through, write them all down underneath, and we can answer them as we go. So what we know that stories sell. On your personal wall, you should put pictures of you, what the products do for you, because that's what your friends want. They want to know how it works for you, Jan, Samantha, and not for some stranger. They want to know how the product can help them, because we know people love to talk about themselves, right? And they're posting all of their issues on their wall. So when you post stories or information on your personal wall, make sure that you're putting your own personal picture in there and stories, not just commercial ads on your personal wall. That's just my soapbox issue. But back to this group, that's just what we wanted to do as well, is take stories of real people that we know and issues and ailments and their testimonies and put it in this big group, because we know that products are the key to all of Plexus. That's why, because these products are amazing and they do amazing things. So once we do a post or two a day of a story about anything, what we encourage all of our team to do, all of you guys to do, all you have to do, people that are working a full-time job, running a full-time house, and you want to do this also and make money at this, or else you wouldn't be on this call, and to maximize your time, is to do 3 things that will take you 2 minutes tops a day. So what you're going to do is you go into your customer group that Jana and Rod are going to help build, create. You are going to do 3 things. You're going to ATM, add, tag, and message. So let's say Janet and Rod put a fantastic story out every single day, 2 a day over the next week, and you scroll through and you say, oh my gosh, here's this story, and it clicks just like my best friend's mother. She might really get interested in this story. You're going to add your best friend and your best friend's mother. You're going to go to that story and you're going to tag them, put their name in the comments. Then immediately you're going to message them and you're going to say, Susie, I know that you know that I do Plexus. You might think I'm crazy, but we have this group that really tells these wonderful stories. And I read this story today and I thought of you because I want you to read this so that you can help your mother. That's all. Just read this. And then talk to me as soon as you're done. So, and do it with a voice thingy. Don't type it all out. Do it with voice, because just like you guys can see me and feel my enthusiasm with it, that's what has to come through, or else they're not even going to look. But once they do, this is so much better than just taking the picture in the story and putting it in a private message, because they would only see that one thing that you're sending them. If you put them in this group and tag them in a story, yes, they're going to see that one message, but then they're going to start scrolling through, because everybody likes before and after pictures. Everybody likes success stories. Everybody wants to find something that will connect with them. So they're going to stay in that group and they're going to scroll through. And that's when the magic starts to happen. That's when they're going to start thinking, oh yeah, that story that my friend just tagged me in, that might help my mother, but holy cow, this is going to help my boyfriend. This one might help me. I got to ask about all these things. So how simple is that process? Give me a thumbs up that, yeah, I think I can do that. Everyone's like, oh, good. All right, because it's not that hard, right? So if you add, tag, message, if you do 1 a day, think of it this way, 1 person a day, 1 story a day, you're going to go through 30 people in a month. Realistically, how many people do you reach out to every month? Be honest. In your gut, you're like, shoot, Kathy, call me out. I might talk to you too. I know, because you're scared out of your mind, because you're thinking, I don't know what to say to these people. Hey, I sell plexus. You want to try? They're going to say no. But if you go to them and say, just read this story for me, that's all. Get back to me with some questions. So let me look at some of the questions in here. Lisa said, shouldn't we ask before we start adding them to the group? Some people get very angry when you message and when you add them. Yes, and I will talk to that in a minute. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. What was the other one? I have friends that don't like to be added to their group first. Yes, okay, let's talk about that since it's in there twice. Yeah, I totally understand that. And this is where relationships come into play. And I'm going to talk about another little part of it too. That's why you don't want to add 200 in one shot. Please don't do that, because that's just like, I love analogies. If you know anything, you probably don't know squat about me, but I was a teacher and I'm a mom of 4 little kids. So anything and everything I do is always with hands, if you can see that, and always analogies. So think of this in terms of baseball. If you take 200 baseballs and just chuck them in the air, what's going to happen? Do you really think someone is good, like the catcher is going to catch all of them, half of them, any of them, if you chuck 200 balls in the air, just hoping that the catcher will find one? No. If you take one ball as the pitcher, take it, aim it at that catcher, you think he's much more likely to catch that ball. So when you go to add people to this group, you're going to do one at a time. And you're going to message them. And in that message, do it right at the same time. So the people that say they hate to be added to groups, most people hate to be added to groups by people that add them and run away. It's kind of like when you ring the doorbell and you run, you know that? That's kind of like what you're doing. You're adding someone, you're like, oh shoot, I hope they stay, and they run. No, this is relationship. So yes, you're gonna get mad if someone rings your doorbell and runs, but you're gonna get mad if someone adds you to a group and doesn't say squat about it. I do. I'm like, what the heck are you adding me to this pants group for? I got enough pants. I don't need any more pants, but thanks. So, but if someone added me to a pants group and says, Kath, you might think I'm crazy adding you to a pants group, but this pair of pants looks really cute. Will you look at it? Okay, I'm not gonna be mad. I'll look at her pants. And then, so it's how you approach it. So if you go to this person, and believe me, I did just 2 days ago, added the quarterback for my high school, added him to a group. That was a little intimidating, but I did, because I know that this product can help him. So I messaged him with a voice thing. I'm like, hey, haven't talked to you in 20 years, but hey, how you doing? And I stumbled over my words too, but he got me. So I said, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but you need to see this because I want to help you. Do you really think someone's gonna get mad if you get that message? No, right? It's all on your approach. It's all on the feel. And you could stumble over words. Believe me, I've made more mistakes than all you guys combined. And I've eaten crow way too many times. And that's okay. You're not going to die. And the person, if they say, oh my God, what'd she do? 2 years down the road, they're not going to remember. Doesn't matter. So here's another big thing it's super simple, right? And you thought, oh my God, I thought I was going to be on here for 5 hours talking about this thing. It's super simple. Here's even more of what is going to happen over time. This group is only successful if you guys participate. Because Rod and Jana, yes, they're going to be putting in stories and all that kind of thing. But guys, you all have stories. Whether they're big or little, or you think nobody cares, or you have a before and after that kind of shows a little change, put it out there. Put it out there for everybody to see. Be proud and be confident. And if you struggled, put it there and say, guys, I struggled. I didn't lose weight at first. And I went through detox horribly. But look, here I am now. Because those stories and that information breathes volumes of belief into people, because you are a regular person and you are a regular person, and so are they. They want to make sure that it's not just shiny Jana that's putting in pictures and things. You guys are too. Okay. So that's my other thing. Share your stories. And make sure that you add the people on your team, all of them, all of your ambassadors, even the wholesale ones, because we know, I always think of the wholesale ambassadors are ones that just didn't catch it yet. because they're only looking at their own personal, how these products are helping them personally. They're not looking outward yet. And yet is the key word for changing that wholesale ambassador to a sharing ambassador by this group, because it's happened. Because I would add a whole bunch of my wholesale ambassadors, like, hey, and I message them too, individually, and say, hey guys, I just want to let you know that I put you in this customer group. It's just a stories group, really. And just to get an idea of what the products that you're taking, what they've done for other people. And maybe you want to check it out because there are products that you aren't taking that might interest you. You can turn off the notifications if you want to. That you can see that or not. It's up to you. Depends upon the person. But just be in there because you never know, right? Okay.
I have a suggestion too.
Yeah.
Because my first thought on that sometimes is, I have friends that I don't know maybe what their ailment is. Maybe I don't know, but I think they would be fantastic at this, but maybe they never post anything about anxiety or whatever it is that they have. So the other thing that you could do is the person's occupation. So if there's a testimony posted by a teacher who says what they've overcome, like Kathleen, she posts her teacher testimony that even if she just says, I was a teacher and this is what I gained from this, you could always go with your teacher friends and say, hey, I just added you to this group. I'd love for you to see this testimony because I know you're probably tired, just like my friend Kathleen was as a teacher or is. And so this would be really beneficial. So a lot of the testimonies actually have the people's occupation, or maybe they homeschool. Maybe they have, 6 kids and somebody with 4 kids, and you can say, hey, I wanted you to see this testimony of this person that has 4 kids, like you have 6 kids, and they're very tired too, and I'd love for you to see their story. So it doesn't always have to be just about, it could be anything that person has in common with that testimony.
Absolutely. And Candy did say, she said, for you guys to comment in those. If you see a cool post or anything, comment in those. Give your feedback, what you think, how you feel, how it could relate to you, because you never know when the person gets tagged and they go see it, they also look at the comments too, and they read about what other people have to say as well. So here's another cool thing. When you start doing that, obviously now everyone's really used to that search feature, right? So you can search in there for an ailment, an issue that your friend has. So it's much easier to search that way. So after a while, all of these posts, they're not going to be dated or anything. It's going to be garbled. You're going to see a post up at the top that was from 6 months ago. If you've ever had your own personal customer group, it might show just them categorically or chronologically, I'm sorry. So the last post you did, well, if someone joins your group and they would have been inspired by a post that was 2 months ago, well, that's way down deep. These posts will get all garbled because you guys are going to be commenting, tagging, and all that. You know what I mean? So you'll see a whole bunch of different things. So when your potential customer comes in the 3rd day, they're going to see totally different things in there. So it's going to be awesome that way. This was another cool thing that actually I took from the corporate trainers did the Power Hour information the other day. And if you didn't see it, there was a guest speaker on there, and she was great with this little one piece of information that I'm like, ding, so if you don't have your Frank's list out, that friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, spousal connections, service connections, oh my God, get that out. Start fresh. You've been in this a month, 4 years, start one fresh. But here's what you can do. Take Joyome, for example. It's a brand new product that's out and everybody's talking about it. But again, we're putting posts out there about skincare and pictures and all that, which is great. But again, you're throwing 200 baseballs out there, hoping that someone's going to catch it. Instead, what you can do is take a keyword that goes along with a product. Take Joyome, for example. We can do any of the products that they have. And in the top of just not even the customer group, in your regular Facebook homepage, type in wrinkles, type in the word Botox, type in something like that. And then you'll see posts from your friends all of them that post about wrinkles, Botox, something. And yeah, you'll see a lot of plexus people because right now everybody's posting about those words. But you might find a friend that says, oh, I wish I can get rid of these wrinkles or something like that, or age spots or liver spots, something. So that's when you're like, oh, this person 3 months ago posted about Botox. How cool. Now I can message them. So you could do the same thing, tie in this customer group along with it. Let's say take anything. What should we take? Multivitamin, something along those lines, maybe. Let's try that. And you could type in a keyword. Then you can go into the customer group, type in those same keywords or X factor, something, so that those testimonies will pop up. Then you can tag that person and say, hey, a month ago you were talking about how you would love to get Botox. Well, guess what? This story that I just tagged you in with our group of stories, I would love for you to read it because it definitely would help you in a non-chemical way to get the results similar to what you were thinking about with Botox. I'm sure you could word it much better than I do. Sometimes I don't do so well with the words, but you get what I'm saying, right? Okay. So does that make sense though? So it's not about spewing everything. It's strategically finding one person a day. You could do 5 in a day if you only have a certain amount of time, and say 5 on one day because I can't do anything for the next 3. Life happens and I get it. Totally get it. But imagine 30 people in a month. How many customers would you get? How many ambassadors would join you? How many ambassadors would join them? Dude, in 30 days, they could be doing the same thing because how duplicatable is this system? You don't have to know everything. I know a whole lot of nothing. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know the words. You don't have to know specifically how to say anything or all the ins and outs of every single ingredient or how to pronounce chitosanase, which is in the Pro-Bio 5. You don't even have to. Candy says I still don't know anything. We don't. But it's strategically finding great stories because stories sell. Information is just the fluff information. So you don't have to know everything. You could just say, hey, you're going to think I'm crazy. I just started with this company, or I started 4 years ago. I still don't know much, but I want you to look at this story and you tell me what you think. Simple, basic.
So the key to this group is going to be 1, strategy, and 2, teaching all of your teams to do this with you. So, because if everybody's not on the same page with this, it's not going to work. Like Kathleen told me the other day, there's still people that add 200 people at a time, and it's not going to benefit them. The people that do that, they're pretty much kissing those 200 people goodbye because they're not going to they're not going to stay, or they're going to turn their notifications off because it's not personal. So the key to this is doing it the right way, and then every ambassador that we bring on, even like Kathleen said, if it's a wholesale, is to train them and teach them what the group is about. It's not about just adding everybody. It's not about adding people just without any kind of message whatsoever. You have to message them. That's where this group is successful. It's in the strategy of it. It's not in the sheer numbers or in the strategy of how you're doing it.
Absolutely. So if you have your say you go into your virtual office and you look at your customer list and you say, okay, some of these people have come and gone. Let's work on the ones that are current. You can message all of your current ones and say, hey guys, I want to put you in this group because you're taking these products and you might be interested in these. I'll tag you in a few stories that I think you might be interested in. It's just a great piece of information because you're already on these products. Blah. Your people that have come and gone, everybody says it's easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. I get it, totally. So the people that have tried these products and have come and gone, I really would go back and add them as well. Because think about it. When did they last try the products? Probably a long time ago. They may not have even tried the XOS Slim. at all. They might have tried just the old Slim. Who knows? They might have tried something and they sabotaged themselves, or they left because of financial reasons, but they really like the products. So look at all of your old customers individually, just like Jana said, and you could say, hey, I wanted to add you to this. I know you tried these products before and you came and left, and hopefully you know why. And it was for the financial, say it's financial, because 99% of the people leave because of financial reasons, because we know these products work. So you could say, I know that you left for financial reasons, that you really like these products. I know so much more now, and I could help you get back to these products without ever posting on Facebook, because we know, you know, that your wholesale ambassadors, your customers are staying silent because they don't want to be the crazy plexus lady or gentleman. So they don't want to post on Facebook. But I do have a wholesale ambassador. Here's an example. Wholesale ambassador, I added her to the group just for information, la, la, la. So now I see her starting to tag people in there. Like, oh, isn't she coming out of the woodwork? She's never posted once on her personal wall, and she's got 2 ambassadors and like 3 customers. And she's wholesale, so she calls herself. I'm like, honey, you're not wholesale. But she thinks she is because she's not out there. So you can have people that are successful with the business and not out there posting every single day. They might eventually get out there and post every single day, but once they start loving it and realizing that they're not going to be alienated about it, but it's all in the strategy.
Yeah, and yeah, it totally makes sense. And that's the other reason that me and Rod were talking about why we want to do this, is because since we don't train customer groups anymore, there's some people that come on wholesale or even work in the business and may not ever see a testimony. Or maybe the only testimony they ever see is whatever their sponsor posted. And so people sometimes, even on your own teams, are not connecting people with other ambassadors. They're not connecting people with other people. So those people could essentially join and never see any testimonies. I mean, you guys know, the ones of you on here that have been an ambassador for a while, or you know, you just joined, but you joined because of a story. Think about the amount of people that could join that would never see a testimony. The testimonies are what sells people on these products because they're real life stories. So we have to have a way to get testimonies to people in a way that they're actually going to see them, because there's a good chance that you could sign somebody that's not even on Facebook much, but they could be in this group and they could see all these testimonies and activity, not just testimonies, but activity of excitement of a lot of people at one time. It's a win-win for everyone. And it will cut down on the amount of work that you have to do, because when we started, our customer groups were big jobs for us. We had to maintain those customer groups. We had to make sure that enough people commented on our stuff, and we had to make sure we were finding good stories and all of that stuff. And this is something that you won't ever have to worry about, that part of it. These stories are going to be brought to you, but like Kathleen said, we want you to add your stories too, because we want personal testimonies. We also want you to comment on stuff. But I was going to ask you, Kathleen, what kind of success have you seen so far since you guys have been doing this?
Oh, unbelievable. It really is. I mean, if we can look at it's hard to say the number of customers, the number of ambassadors that have joined because of it. But, here's a good way, because you can't really judge it. But here's one thing I can say. Not that it's about contests, not that it's about any of that stuff. I think it was the convention contest that was 4 months long. I hit the top thing for the convention contest in like early month 3 in the very beginning. Guys, I don't know if you know, I don't earn those things. We don't. Like the fancies do. I never did, but blew it out of the water. And I'm like, what the heck? How did this happen? Solely because of this customer group, because we are growing people that are loving the products and want to share the products to help people, because that's what we're all about. I really couldn't give a rip about contests, but I want to help people. That's just a quantitative way to say, yes, we're growing much faster than we had before. And another thing, that it brings people together. Because think of, let's say I'm looking at faces, say Tina. I wonder how many people on this call, on this team, or their personal stories. You might not. But once you get in this group, you're like, dang, that's a crazy good story. Why doesn't everybody know this story? And it brings people to light. And if you think that if you like are worried about putting your story, your picture out there, one of them in our group, a few of them, they put their before and after pictures out. It floored all of us. Like, this girl is like in our little bubble circle. We had no idea she had those health ailments, no idea that she had these before and afters and success. And man, everyone rallied and pumped this girl up. She felt like Queen of England because her story was everywhere, so it just feels good. You want to cheer your friends on, you want to cheer your team on, and you want to be validated too on a regular basis that these products are working for hundreds and hundreds,
Yeah, so. For sure. Okay, really big question that I asked you the other day that somebody has already asked. For those of us that already have customer groups, you gave me some really great suggestions on what to do with that.
Yes, I forgot about that one. Yes, I see it there, Amy's. You could do it one of two different ways. You can take your customer group and continue with it as you would. Obviously, this is voluntary. We always call this a voluntary army. You do what you want. This is your business. So what we do ask is that you don't take these stories. I didn't say this before I answer Amy's. Don't take these stories and testimonies and put them on your personal wall because you're not really sure how compliant they might be. I'm not going to go any further with that, but let's keep it in-house, okay? You'll see the little description and all that. Keep it in the bubble. So, and make sure when you're adding people that you're not adding people from way outside your team, like other people's teams and all that kind of thing. Not that we're not one plexus, but we want to make sure that everything stays happy in our happy bubble. That's what I call it. My husband thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, I love my happy bubble. So just keep it happy, right? So keep your own happy bubble. Yes, add your customers' potentials and all that. But other people's teams, you could just say, oh, you can make your own. Here's what we did. La, la, la. But so back to customer groups. If you have your own and it's successful, wonderful. If you have people commenting on all of those stories underneath and you see a lot of action, a lot of movement, and you're happy with your business growing the way it is, keep it, obviously. If you're like, but all those people are in that group. I put 250 people in this group. Now what am I going to do is take them all and put them in there? Few different ways you could do it. One of my girlfriends put a blanket post out and said, guys, there's this other group that's phenomenal with tons of stories, and I would love for you to see all of these. So as of today, I'm going to start strategically over the next few days putting you into this group rather than doing this one because there's so many wonderful stories. Rather than duplicating it, let's join that one. You can do it that way, or you can just do it, pick and choose. Say, you know what? Again, the relationships are key. Your 200 people that are in that group, think about it. How many of them turn their notifications off? How many don't even know that they're in this group anymore? I was in probably 600 groups, no lie. So, and I didn't even know. So I started taking myself out of everything. I almost took myself out of our own team groups. I'm like, sheesh, because I don't want to be in that many. So we're consolidating things. So strategically, message those people and say, I don't even know if you know that you were in my customer group before, or in my information group. I'm going to put you in this awesome one, and I want you to see this post that I tagged you in. Take them out of there, put them in there. So again, it's that relationship, and it starts a conversation. That person that doesn't even know that they're in your customer group is sitting there, and when you think, oh, they're getting this wonderful knowledge. No, they're probably not. Yeah. But this is like sparking something new. And you could say, and the new products that came out and all this new information's in there, and I can't wait for you to hear about it. And pump them all up and get excited.
You could go live in your customer group. And when you go live in your customer group, a lot more people see it, which is why I went live in the Rockin' Group a while ago to talk about this call, because a lot of people get notified when somebody goes live in a group, even if they don't get notifications for posts. So you could go live and you could say whatever it is that you're going to do. So if you're going to close your customer group, you could say, I so appreciate you guys being in here for this customer group. I've had a lot of fun with it, but my team is doing something different and better now, and it's going to be so exciting, and I want you to let me know if you want to go with me over to this new group, because there's going to be fabulous testimonies by lots of different people, and you'll be able to see a lot more over there. If you want to close your group, if you don't want to close your group, you could always say, my team's doing this fabulous group. If you want to be added to that, let me know. And you'll probably get a lot more people if you do a live than if you do, because people will see your live. People want to come on when you go live because they don't know what you're going to say. They're like all curious and nosy. So if you do a live, you might get a lot more attention on that one. But it's up to you. Like Kathleen said, you can close your group and tell everybody this will be my last post. I'm not doing the posts in here anymore. And I mean, I would keep the group because you have all those people. And then every once in a while, every week or two, for at least a while, go back in there and say, remember, we started this other customer group and I'm not posting in here anymore. But if you would like to be added to this other group, I would love it. Then that way you still have your group of people that you've added, and you still have that list of people to choose from when you have your Franks list. Those people should be on your Franks list, so you can actually have a list of people that you've put in there to begin with. You want to always have access to that so that you don't lose those people. So, but I think it's a great idea to either close the group or at least say, you know, I'm not going to be posting in here very much anymore, or I'm reducing the amount of posts in here because my team has this really exciting group going on where there's all kinds of testimonies. Make it sound super exciting so that people feel like they're missing out. You could even, I know Candy's done this before, but you could even do like, if you do a post in there, you could say, hey, I know that you guys are in here to watch my testimonies, but I just posted my testimony in this other group and I'd love for you to come see it. And then that way it sparks their interest and they're like, ooh, I missed a post that she did. I know Candy did that one time. She did a before and after in her swimsuit. And she posted on her regular wall. This was when we had customer groups. And she posted on her regular wall and said, hey, I just did a swimsuit before and after in my customer group. And you would not believe how many people asked to go into her customer group when she did that because they wanted to see that before and after. And so you could do something like that, make it very, very, or you could say, I just saw this crazy good before and after on this customer group my team's doing, and I'd love for you to see it. But spark people's interest. That's always better to be exciting so that they feel like they're missing out if they're not in there.
I don't think I would do a before and after bikini picture. That might intrigue people in a way different way than Candy's. Just saying. And for all of you guys, when I love the idea of the Facebook or the going live thing. For all of you guys who are like, oh shoot, I'm not doing that. I don't do lives. I can't do them. I get it. I get it because I break out in hives and I start stuttering and I lose my mind if I'm doing a live on my personal wall. Don't know why. It's my own thing I got to get over. But in the team group, in Rockin' Group, in here, I could talk all day, obviously, because it's 40 minutes in. I could talk all day about this stuff because there's that personal connection. You guys know when I come into here or in a customer group or our team group that I'm going to talk about Plexus stuff. And you guys get me. If I'm on my personal wall, I got my Aunt Josie and everybody else. They're like, oh, what's Kath going to talk about? So if I talk about Plexus stuff for my children, you never know what's going to come out. So I get all like, oh, my Aunt Josie's going to hear about Plexus. Does she want to hear it? So think about it that way. If you have a customer group going live, awesome idea because they know what to expect. So don't be nervous. Do it anyway. That whole rip that Band-Aid. I love the whole, we bought a zoo, that 20 seconds of insane courage. That's all you need, 20 seconds of courage. And just press that live button and do it. I dare you.
Also, if you're nervous about going live, the very best way to do that is to bring on somebody else that you know and just talk to them about whatever it is you want to talk about. Interview somebody because, first of all, the interviewer is not nervous because they're just asking questions, and the interviewee isn't nervous because they're just answering questions. So if you're ever nervous about going live, whether it's in a team group or customer group or on your wall, bring somebody to interview. There's always power partners. There's always people that you can ask, hey, you know, let's talk for 5 minutes about why you joined Plexus. And I'll just ask you a couple questions about why you joined. Or let me just ask you a couple questions about what the products have done for you. And that makes everybody less nervous.
Perfect. So do you guys feel good about this? Do you guys have any questions other than what the name of the group is? That's a good one.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. We are going to decide that this weekend. We're going to launch the group on Monday. And so we are really excited about it. We are going to be super successful with this group, and I can't wait to see it get started. I will tell you that I'm excited about it because I think it can help every single level, no matter whether you just started yesterday or you're a diamond. Because I can tell you that I have people still that I see on their wall that they have stuff like migraines or anxiety, and I don't always know what to say to them. And so I'm always like, well, am I going to sound like salesy if I message them and say, oh my God, I got something for migraines, you know? But if I have a group where I can tag them in a testimony, you don't have to sell anything. You just say, look, I saw that you were posting about your migraines, and there's a testimony in this group that I'm in, and I really just want you to see it because I think that it could really help you. Can you just look at it and then tell me what you think about it? That's all you got to do is ask questions. And so it's easy for somebody just starting out, and it's helpful even for people who have been in it for a long time, who might see somebody that's posting that they're tired or that they need energy or that they have anxiety. Whatever that is, you can tag them and you don't feel like you're salesy. You just feel like you're helping them. And that right there is the key. If people feel like you just really want to help them, this helps you do that. Instead of them thinking you're just trying to make a sale, you're actually showing them somebody they have something in common with, and they can benefit from that. And that's what you're there, like, to show them how they can benefit from this post. And that nobody's going to get mad about you putting them in a group when you're genuinely just trying to help them. And that's what's so great about this. But I do want to talk for a second about what if some of these people I know are already in your team, your group. So a lot of the stuff may be duplicated. It may be kind of the same stuff. So you wouldn't want to put the same people in both groups. You're just going to want to put people in the group. If you're in both, if you want to be in both groups, if you're already under Kathleen and you want to be in this group too, you can be, that's fine. You might have more stuff to choose from, but only put the people in the group that you think that testimony would apply to them, because both groups are going to be great. Both groups are going to have a lot of testimonies. So it's either one is going to be great, but you wouldn't want to put them in both.
Right, because the stories will be very similar.
Right. So if you're under Kathleen somewhere and you are in this group and that group and you sign somebody, you're going to ask them if they want to be in both groups. You know, some people want to be in every group they can be because they want all the information. But if they're not, if they're just a wholesale person, then just put one or the other. And you won't want to put them in both things because there's too many groups out there anyway, and they're going to benefit if they're in either one of these groups.
Right, and if you don't know, just pick one.
Yeah.
If you don't know, pick Janice because you're on this call and it just makes sense.
They're going to be a lot of the same posts. I can guarantee you that, because we're going to duplicate a lot of that group anyway. So both groups are going to be great, and I'm so excited about it.
Are you guys excited? Do you think like, hey, I can freaking do this? And you're thinking, maybe I can actually do this business. Yes, you can. You can do this business. So if you're sitting here and you're like, all right, stop talking and let's just get started. It's going to start on Monday. That stinks. It's way too late. So what you're going to do is start getting your whole list of all of your people, because you know that you can grow. So start writing names down and just start checking them off so that you can say, yep, I did add that person. I did add that person. So make it simple. You have all weekend to start writing down names. Challenge yourself. How many names you're going to write down, even old customers, old ambassadors, and then just start plugging through the list, at least one every day. How simple is it to do? We say 3, but I mean, dude, even if it's 1, what the hell?
Yeah. And even if you have like people that you know really well, like say your sister has told you, I just don't think I can't sell anything, or your best friend, I just don't think I could sell anything. Go to them this weekend and say, oh my gosh, I just was on this call where my team is doing a new system where you don't even have to sell anything. All you have to do is talk to people about being in a group where they're going to see something that's going to benefit them. How easy is that? Come do this with me and we'll learn together. And hopefully Rod will have this call posted tomorrow. You can share the call with them, and maybe you can get some ambassadors this weekend just from telling them how excited you are about this new group. and how easy it's going to be for them to just tag people instead of having to actually go and sell them something or post stories.
So you're going to add, tag, and message. And don't worry about, like Jana and Raj are going to have people that are adminning the group. So they will approve the people that come through. Don't worry by like, but I can't add. If I add them, then I got to wait for them to be approved before I tag them and then message them. No, just add them, tag them. Because once they get approved, they'll see the tag. So you don't have to wait or any of that stuff. And there's going to be a bunch of admins that are going to approve on a regular basis. Man, every single time I go in, there's at least 15 that I got to approve, and everybody else is approving as well. So there's like 50 people getting added every single day to that one. So it's going to be an ongoing thing. And remember, if you have a story, if you've seen a cajillion posts out in that group a day, just save your story for tomorrow maybe. So not to overwhelm all in one day. So, but definitely share your story. Definitely comment in there if you can. That definitely helps. But add them, tag them, message.
I'm glad you said that too, because I wanted to say real quick that I'm going to make all the Jules on our team admins for this group. That way they can add their own team to it and they can approve their own team's posts, or not their posts, but their actually ads. And because there's a lot of people that I don't know, and we kind of want to have a little bit of somewhat of an idea of who's coming in. Like it. So for instance, Amy Molesky's a Jewel on our team, and she's on the call. If somebody under Amy adds 200 people, Amy's going to go message that person and say, hey, it's probably better that you add, just a few people or one at a time, because we're tagging them, and I'm pretty sure you can't tag up 200 people. So kind of explaining the strategy of the group. And I'm counting on all the Jewels to help me with that, with their own team. If you're a Jewel and I'm hoping all the Jewels will watch this call. If you're a Jewel and you're watching this call and you're one of the admins, then that way you can watch for ads and you can say, oh, I know that person's on my team and I'm going to go ahead and add that person. And so just to kind of help us kind of man the group, we would really appreciate that. So if you're in this and you have a Jewel in between you and me, or 3 or 4 Jewels, and you're wondering, you want to add somebody and maybe it's not fast enough, you can message your Jewel and say, hey, I'm trying to add so-and-so to this group. We're going to try to be on it as quick as we can. But if you message your Jewel, you might be able to have them add the people quicker, or whatever that case may be. That way, your Jewel's an admin, and all the Jewels will be admins. Probably even if you have a big team, any kind of big team, you're going to be some kind of admin, so that way you can approve your people. So that would be easy.
So there was just a question just then about how many groups. There's just one customer group. We started ours a while ago. So from my team down, we got our little group. So Jana said, rather than making it gigantic, she's going to take it her side. So if you're not in ours, don't worry about it. You don't have to be in ours. Jana's, you're going to be in Jana's. It's just one group.
Yeah, it's just going to be one group. And their group is humongous, and it's for their team, and our team is going to be for everyone. So whoever wants to be in our group can be in, whoever's on our team can be in our group. So it'll be this, trust me, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. So it'll be good. The Rockin' group is for team stuff. The Rockin' group is for our team, anybody that's on our team, and that's for announcing stuff. It's for contests. It's for stuff from corporate or stuff about convention, all that stuff. There's so much traffic in the Rockin' group that we don't get a whole lot of time or space to do testimonies, which is why we want to do it here. Then that way customers or potential customers can see it too.
One thing that I wanted to add that I see in ours is if you have questions about, you have a person in your mind like, oh, hey, I wonder if there is a story about Meniere's disease. I don't even know what that is, but so let's take that as an example. Don't put a post out there saying, does anyone have Meniere's disease? I would love to hear about it. Let's not do that. What you can do is message some of the admins and say, hey, can you find a story about Meniere's disease? So then the admin was like, good idea. They'll go look. They'll take it. I don't even know what Meniere's is. If someone knows, then you can tell me where that came from. But then they'll put the post out there. So that would be much helpful. And then they could tag that person in it just to keep it clean and keep the the group clean rather than posting questions about that stuff.
Yes, and Erica, no, there will not be multiple testimony groups. There's only two. There's Amy Kosmowski. If you're anywhere under Amy Kosmowski, you can be in hers. If you're anywhere under me, you can be in mine and hers. If you're under her, you can be in both. If you're under me and not them, you can be in mine. So I hope that makes sense.
It's the inner ear. I was a speech therapist. I guess I've been away a little bit too long.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Rockin' Testimonies, Diana. That's a really good idea for a name. I like that.
Yes, that's great.
That. Awesome. Then we may have to consider that one. I really like it. Okay, you guys, Kathleen?
I think that's it. I think it's it because it's super simple. Add, tag a message. There you go. So let's see. It's the 10th of May. You have 20 plus days left of the month. Let's see if you can, well, they're going to start on Monday. So let's see if you can do, starting on the 14th, you get 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Let's see if you can double that up and get 30 people of your own added in there of potential people, wholesale customers, wholesale ambassadors. Get them in there. Get started. Give yourself a goal. How many people are you going to message about this? How many people are you going to bring in as customers, ambassadors? Give yourself a business goal. Give yourself a how many people I'm going to help goal, and go from there with gusto. 2 weeks. You can do tons in 2 weeks. Tons.
Yeah, and we're going to really need you guys' help too to really pump this group up on the Rockin' Group so that we can tag everybody and we can get everybody. The more comments under the group posts that we get when we announce it, the more comments, the more excitement that we can get, the more tagging, then more people will see it and more people will understand that they need to be in it. Even the wholesale people that maybe don't come in the Rockin' Group a lot, if there's tons of comments under the post when we announce it, more people will see that. So we're going to really need you guys' help to really pump up that post when we announce the group name and when we put the link in there for everybody to join.
Awesome. Can't wait for it to start. Can't wait.
Me too.
So you know what we should do? Beginning of June, middle of June, a month from now, do another call and say, all right, what do you guys think? How are you feeling? Because this is big. This is big.
Yeah. Yeah. And with our new products that we just got released, imagine the people, the testimonies we're going to have in there that you may not have ever seen anywhere else because you're not friends with everybody. And you're going to see all these before and afters that are going to start coming out. They're already coming out, but imagine in 30 days when everybody's had 30 days, imagine the before and afters that we'll be posting on just the Joyome. And so a group like this, oh my gosh, can you imagine, even if you know somebody that loves beauty products, you can say, oh my gosh, I wanted you to see this testimony. I'm going to tag you in a testimony about these new beauty products. I know you love going to Ulta and I know you love beauty products, so I'm going to tag you. So I mean, just imagine the testimonies that you'll see that you may not have ever seen. A lot of the testimonies we see everywhere all the time, but there's some that there's some that I never see anywhere. And then sometimes I'll see one, I didn't see that. I've never seen that one, but they're all in one place for you. So this is going to make it much easier. So
awesome.
Super excited. Okay, thanks you guys so much for coming on the call. I'm going to post in the Rockin' Group about this call, so if you have any questions or if you want to just tell everyone how excited you are, I would really appreciate that. We're going to thank Kathleen for being on the call. We so appreciate you and all of your teaching. You're such a good teacher. I can tell you were a teacher before because you're so good at teaching. But we really
don't ever tell the school district that I forgot what that Meniere's disease was. Like, oh shoot, they're never gonna hire me.
Well, you don't need that job anymore anyway.
I know. Anyway, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Hopefully you have a good weekend and happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thanks. You everybody else too. Thanks.
Yeah. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.